Remember where the old, it's over where Phillips University is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not safe.
Our ward is from Chestnut.
Yeah, but, and I knew that he was
It would
thinking
be in that area.
3, but he wants me to say when he gets up. We'll see. I'm ready to go. Worst day. I don't care. Worst day. Yeah, I mean, I got my time.
Oh, yeah, that's it'd be from there.
And,
That's the R4. What I'm understanding, that would be an overlay. Yes, this one would have an overlay. Yes, so this would be an overlay, and then here is food, which they would need to run.
no.
That would be separate. And these are your modular
Never happened.
in here, they actually did from Chestnut down, there was 100 feet. They didn't even look at the ones above these ones.
That sounds good. Actually, after last night.
So there's gonna be more.
Scott, are you feeling like you've had double duty? Yes. Yes, so have I. And I'm just like, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think it's time to start. I'll call this to order, and Summer, if you'll call roll.
Commissioner Patterson?
Here.
Commissioner Norwood?
Present.
Commissioner Siragusa? Here. Commissioner Roberts? Here. Commissioner Stallings?
Here.
Commissioner Orr?
Here.
And Mayor Mason?
Here.
All present.
Our invocation tonight will be by Reverend Allison Burchett, and our flag salute will be by Colonel Carl Miller. So let's stand, please remain standing.
I know you all just got stuck with me, so thanks for letting me come 2 in a row. It's good to be with you, and I'll invite you to pray with me as you feel led. Holy One, in whom we live and breathe and have our being, we give you thanks for today. Thank you for waking us up and for bringing us here tonight. Thank you for the call that you've placed on each of our lives to come and be united in service to our neighbors. As we come into this meeting, I ask that you would give each of us a spirit of wisdom and discernment. Give us good ears for listening, good hearts and minds for understanding, and good words when you'd have us speak. As we look to the work of your city, I ask that you would forgive us for what we've done and for what we've left undone. Forgive us for the times when we cared more about our priorities than what was good for everyone. Forgive us for the times when we knew there was someone we should help and we didn't. And help us do better. Holy One, we give you thanks for the people who've answered the call to serve our city. And we give you thanks for the people at home who support them and make sure that they can be here. We ask your blessings on the leaders and public servants here in Enid and in our state, in our nation, and around the world. We pray for their wisdom and their safety. As we work to serve your city, remind us all of what unites us. Help us to make this city a light on a hill. May it be a place where all feel welcomed and loved. Help us be that light. We pray this in the name of all that we hold sacred and holy. Amen.
This flag and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and be seated. Okay, item 3.1, consider approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting of July the 2nd, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes. Motion passes 7-0. Item number 4, present pet available for adoption at the City Animal Welfare Department.
Good evening. I'm Christiana Whitmore, and I am with Enid Animal Welfare. And today I have Alice. Alice is a 1.5-year-old Great Dane Pit Bull mix. Her and her sister unfortunately found their way to us when her owner became terminally ill. Her sister has already been adopted, so she's still with us. She is very timid, but she did fantastic in the bath, better than what I do at grooming, obviously. She rides well in the car after you get her in. She kind of is a little prissy and makes you lift her into the vehicle. Once she warms up to you, she's extremely sweet. She's a loyal dog. She's protective of the ones that she loves, and she will follow you on the leash very well. I had her around the office today, and she just followed me without the leash. She's just a really great dog, and it's just her shyness gets her overlooked, but she is ready for a new home. She is located in Pen 5. She will come with a voucher to get her spayed, all of her vaccines, and a microchip, all for free through the Enid SPCA. What?
I'll just say like I did last week, it is imperative that we start adopting these dogs. We only have so much space out there. So I know everybody at home sitting there going, wow, that'd be nice to have that dog, and they never actually do it. Well, it needs to be done. We need to have people that step up, and more importantly, spay and neuter your own dog so that we don't have more situations like this. So it would be very, very helpful. 4.2, recognize City of Enid Employee of the Month for July. Who could that be?
Well, once again, the most enjoyable part of my job, at least one of them, is presenting the Employee of the Month in front of everybody. The commissioners, the public that watches this, and you know our ratings are pretty high, Elizabeth. So Elizabeth Durham is our Employee of the Month for July. It's well-deserved. I know Elizabeth and have gotten to know her because she's in this building, and so she works directly for Carol. And Carol, you may want to say a few things about how wonderful Elizabeth is.
Of course. Elizabeth is a force of quiet calm. Nothing gets her noticeably concerned. She's very caring towards the people that come in, who are almost always nervous. They want something. They have a problem. They're troubled, and she helps them. And also, calms me down sometimes when I lose things or am late for a meeting or something, or have stumbled over something or can't stand the computer. But more importantly, she helps other departments too. She's often helped Mr. Gilbert and other departments, and she really does all of that very, in a way that is very quiet and no bravado, no look at me. So it's important that we recognize those quiet people who do such a good job.
Well, and she's a quiet, strong person. So although you don't seek out recognition, you're getting it today. So this is a plaque. I expect you'll put it wherever you want to put it. Here's a coin that you can carry around in your pocket. But go ahead and tell her, I know you love public speaking, so.
Just want to say thank you for thinking of me, and it's an honor to receive this award.
Well, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to move on. I think we finished everything on the study session, so I'm going to move on to line item 5.1. We're going to hold a hearing, public hearing on a request to rezone the property located at 202 Kesterfield Boulevard from C1 or light commercial district to SU or special use district. Leroy?
I only have one slide on this one. Just put the slide up to give a reference on the property that we're looking at rezoning. It's by the stadium there. I get low battery again. It's by the stadium. There's a plan to use it for parking. That's city property in between. We're doing that little parcel and this parcel. The Planning Commission has recommended for rezoning. We've not had any adverse comments to date, so we would recommend favorable consideration.
I don't have anyone that signed up. If anybody wants to speak, since it's a public hearing. Okay?
Really not.
All right. Commissioners, you have any
approve?
questions or? No?
No, I move for approval.
Wait just a second.
Okay.
We're still in the hearing. All right, that said, I'm going to go to 5.2. Consider an ordinance amending the Enid zoning map pursuant to Title 11 zoning, Chapter 2, Administration and Enforcement, Section 1-2-1, changes and amendments to rezone 202 Kesterfield Boulevard from C1 Light Commercial to SU or Special Use District. Now, Commissioner.
I don't want to, no. Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. All right, 5.3, we're going to hold another hearing on a request to rezone the property located at 1401 South Adams Street from C3 General Commercial District and R4 Residential Duplex or Two-Family Dwelling District to Special Use District.
This is school-owned property that's adjacent to other property they already own that they use for bus barn and maintenance. It includes all of these lots and the portion of the vacated road that goes to those lots. Again, it's recommended by the Planning Commission unanimously to rezone it, and we have not received any adverse comments.
Okay. I have no other comments. Any questions from the commissioners? I will move on to item 5.4, consider an ordinance amending the Enid zoning map pursuant to Title 11 zoning, Chapter 2, Administration and Enforcement, Section 11-2-1, changes and amendments to rezone 1401 South Adams Street from C3 General Commercial District and R4 Residential Duplex or Two-Family Dwelling District to Special Use District.
Move to approve.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. Cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. Item 5.5, consider the appeal of a denial of a sign request for Stride Bank Center for an electronic message center sign, EMC sign, under the Enid Municipal Code 11-13-15D1, providing the mayor and the Board of Commissioners to authorize the authority to consider the economic development benefits of a sign and allow accommodations of an off-premise sign when appropriate and take necessary action.
Yes, Mayor, you heard a presentation earlier from Jeff Bemis and the desire to have some advertisement out in front of the Stride Bank Center off of Garriott. And so this is the vehicle to approve this sign permit.
Questions, comments? I'll look for a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. Item number 6, administration, 6.1, hold a public hearing regarding the adoption of the current version of the International Residential Code. Scott?
Evening, Mayor, Commissioners, apologize. This is to adopt the new, we are on the IRC that was adopted by the OUBC, the Oklahoma Uniform Building Code Commission, in September of '22. It was taken before the Construction Board of Appeals, and it has been recommended for approval to be approved by you, and along with any updated after. When the OUBCC updates, we will update with a 30-day posting in the newspaper. Excuse me, let me rephrase. We will post in the newspaper, and after 30 days, we will adopt the new codes.
Okay. I think we'd already talked about this.
This was a
month or
study
so
session
back,
brought
and-
before, yes.
Okay. Any questions or concerns? Okay, I'm going to move on to 6.2. Consider an ordinance amending the Enid Municipal Code 2014, Title 9, entitled Building Regulations, Chapter 2, International Residential Code, Section 9-2-1, International Residential Code adopted to amend the addition of the International Residential Code, or the IRC, from the 2015 edition to the current edition of the International Residential Code as adopted and amended by the Oklahoma Uniform Building Code Commission, and providing that future adoptions of the International Residential Code by the Oklahoma Uniform Building Code Commission will be adopted and take effect 30 days after the city code official publishes in the newspaper the notice of the new edition, providing for repealer, saving clause, severability, and codification. So I'll look for a motion for us to pass that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Cast your ballots. Okay, motion passes 7-0. And thank you for putting International Residential Code so many times in all that.
I think that was me.
I know. 6.3, hold a public hearing regarding the adoption of the current version of the National Electric Code.
A lot like the previous one, it follows the same line. It was adopted by the OUBCC in '22. It did go before the Construction Board of Appeals here in Enid and was approved to be adopted. It was brought to you by a study session, and we are here now to adopt.
Okay. Any other questions? I'll go to 6.4. Consider an ordinance amending the Enid Municipal Code 2014, Title 9, entitled Building Regulations, amending Chapter 4, Electrical Code, Section 9-4-1, Electrical Code adopted to amend the addition of the National Electrical Code, or the NEC, from the 2017 edition to the current edition of the National Electrical Code, adopted as amended by the Oklahoma Uniform Building Code Commission, and providing that future adoptions of the National Electrical Code by the Oklahoma Uniform Building Code Commission will be adopted and take effect 30 days after the city code official publishes in the newspaper the notice of the new edition, providing for repealer, saving clause, severability, and codification.
Move to approve.
Have a motion?
Second it.
And a second. Please cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, I'm to the consent items.
Move to approve all consent items except for item 7.4, which I believe we also have somebody wanting to speak on that.
Okay. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second to approve all the consent items with the exception of 7.4. I have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. So I will go to 7.4. I'm going to read that separately, and then Mr. Jackson, Raphael Jackson, if you'll be making your way up to the podium, you can speak right after I read this. Award a contract to Luck and Bill Construction Company, LLC, Edmond, Oklahoma, for project number W-2114C1, Ames Raw Water Transmission Main Rehabilitation Creek Crossings, or Turkey and Spring, base bid and option B in the amount of $2,487,577. Approve the extension of the time for contract award and authorize the mayor to execute all contract documents. So I'll turn the floor over to you, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, City Managers. Appreciate the privilege to be able to speak tonight. I just wanted to discuss, I believe we were low bidder on the project as a contractor, and I believe that we were, I'm not sure the terminology that was used, but in essence, our bid was void due to lowest bid received was non-responsive due to insufficient experience in the area of 24-inch bores, fusible high-density HDPE, tie into concrete pipe. I'm not, and by the way, thank you for that prayer. That was a good prayer about unity. I believe this chamber is looking at the diversity in this room. I believe that you all believe in opportunity, and I just don't believe we were given that during the bidding process. These pictures are probably pretty new to the City of Enid engineering team. These are projects that our employees have worked on, that are actively employed with us, that are certified with these machines. I have the documents here of their certifications. We can just run through these slides real quick, just to kind of go through these projects. This is a 24-inch HDPE line being fused. That's very similar to this project that's actually noted in here as we don't have experience in. A little confused by that, but we can keep going through the slides. Here's the actual bore going in place. We're pulling the HDPE through. Next slide. Just continuation of the process there. Next slide. Again, similar to this Ames waterline project. Is that all of them? There was one in particular. Next slide. It's just continuation of that project. Now this is one of our employees. We have many that have their certifications for, so I'll read it on here so I can read it a little bit more clearly. Butt fusion, manual, hydraulic, electrofusion saddle, sidewall heat fusion, data logger. So I'm a little embarrassed that I have to come here for a project interview. I feel like that should have been done behind the scenes. When we got called to discuss this project, it was more so of, this is not the project for you. Didn't get a chance to have an interview process. I kind of feel like, you all running for these seats had to go through a voting process where you got to display your skill set, your beliefs, what you're running on. People got a chance to make that decision. Even the city managers, kind of the same thing. I believe it had to be somewhat of an interview process. It was removed off the agenda, so I received a phone call saying, hey, pretty much we're sticking to our guns. You're not certified. I mean, you're not qualified through experience. Now, I believe that was a missed opportunity for that interview process. And I'm just a little lost on how that came about. I know growing up in this community, there's times that as a kid and as an adult, as a contractor, it's an ecosystem. It's kind of like an analogy of a pond. There's a group of ducks. You might not look like the other ducks. And it's unprecedented for that duck to do things that it's saying it can do, because there's nothing in the past to relate to that can say that person can do that. So sometimes at face value, before that book gets open, you're judged by the cover of the book. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but I don't understand why we're told no on every single project, that we face with bidding with the city. We've gained our experience outside the city. We're not here to gain experience on the citizen taxpayers' funds. During COVID, to be a business owner takes a risk. We developed these team members during risky time, and I can't display their skills on a project interview. I'm not understanding that. I don't know what I've done wrong. Every project we're successful on. It was a missed opportunity. And standing in this chamber with the symbol that's painted on the building, the prayer that we have this evening is about unity, equal chances, opportunities. I feel like that was definitely failed in this moment. All the hardworking people that we have believe in this company and stayed, and instead of moving with another company, because they believe that you all, breaking stuff.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just a pointer.
Believe that there's going to be a fair given opportunity. We're not asking for anything. I've never once came to the city of Enid and asked for anything. I was always taught, what can you do for your community instead of what your community can do for you? That's the challenge that we face every single day. I have a personal relationship with Mr. Norwood. He's my mentor on the spiritual side. Being a contractor, working and knowing that he's a city commissioner puts a lot of pressure on us to make him proud, to make all the commissioners proud. We're going to unveil something on 10th Street in a week or two to the engineering team of where we made decisions to save the city $70,000 to $80,000 on a $1 million project. It's not about profit to us. It's about what can we do for our community and what can our community. I feel like it's a failed opportunity. Why didn't I get a fair interview process on a project where we can save the community $400,000 on a project? On a $2 million bid, we did not get an interview process. We were sit at a table saying, you are not inexperienced, this is not the project for you. I'm not understanding that. But back to the point, that's the slideshow. Sworn affidavits, signed, experience. I don't know what else to provide. And I have to go back and tell these people that stayed here during these hard trial times, we don't have the opportunity. It breaks down the community. When I go and talk to children of what it takes to not ask, but work hard, make a way for your family and give back to your community, it makes us successful as one. All of our projects that we do, we try to work with contractors locally. When we're low bidder on a project, I have this project location map in front of me. We work with contractors all in Enid. We're told that we're not capable of getting the job. Last minute, we get the project. We try to go get bonds for the project. The bonding company says, hey, hold on. There's another contractor calling saying that they awarded the project. We don't know who to give the project to. And then we get awarded in the city commission meeting, the agenda packet on the project map. Their name is listed as the one that was awarded the project. It totally kills when I'm trying to work with that contractor on the back end. We get the project, we work together, I give them a piece of the pie because I believe in unity. I believe that we can do all this together as one. Same thing with this project. That person was notified before I was notified. We just came out of a dark time as a city with bad press and publicity. We're coming together as united, and I believe this was a failed opportunity to prove that. So, anybody have any questions for me?
Well, Mr. Jackson, if you'll allow me to speak up, first of all, I appreciate you coming up here tonight and talking to us. I've done my due diligence on this also, and I've heard nothing but good things about you, the projects that you've done for us. I will say, after I've talked to as many people as I could and given it a lot of thought, that water line that we're talking about out there services the entire city of Enid.
Correct.
52,000 people.
Correct.
And while you may have worked on or you may have done some jobs elsewhere with some large lines,
Correct.
I haven't, and I'm hearing through our engineering department that you have not done that large of line for us. And I personally, and I assure you, it's not because of who's on the front of the building or who's not on the front of the building.
Correct.
I represent 52,000 people, and I cannot take a chance on them not having water,
Correct.
having a problem out there.
Right.
Now, I think, and I would recommend, from what you've been doing with the city, or I can't even recommend, my appearance, or what it appears to me, is continue to do those jobs, continue to demonstrate to our engineering department that you can do those jobs. It's not about the money on this project.
Correct.
Explain to me how I'm gonna stand in front of the paper and explain that we don't have water for the next 3 days.
Right.
I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's why. That's why. It wasn't because of anybody's skin color
Right.
or COVID or any of those things.
Right.
It was experience with our team. And that's just how I have to see that.
Right.
But I applaud you for
Right.
going out there and taking on those projects. I think your time's coming faster probably than you even realize. But I have to think about every single one of our residents. And I think we're also tying on to a line out there that's 75 years old, concrete line.
Right.
I can just see a lot of problems happening. And if you don't have a lot of the experience, that can go bad real quick.
Right.
And we just can't go call a plumber to fix that.
Right.
So that being said, that's why I'm going to vote tonight to award this to Luckinville.
Okay.
And I can't speak to why they were notified before. I can't speak to any of that.
Right.
It's purely about experience
Okay.
with our team, with our team.
Okay.
So that's where I am on it. And I don't know if any of the other commissioners have a thought they want to say, but.
Well, I appreciate that, what you said, and I totally understand that. Do I 100% agree with it? No, and in your position, I definitely, with the information that you were given, I would make the same decision. I just don't believe you were fully informed of the game plan, and I think that was a conversation that should have been had on the back end to address those concerns as a contractor, as a low bidder, of how those concerns were addressed. We definitely had those addressed. We have 30 third-party companies. We had a quality control company that was going to be on site constantly throughout that has experience with this type of project and larger, and also subcontractors that also have that experience. I'm not at liberty to really exactly go into that detail about the subcontractors, but that definitely was addressed, and that's definitely something that, so one project, so we can do 10 great projects, but one project can totally erase all the progress that we have made as a company. So that was definitely heavily weighted and evaluated before we submitted the bid, and we definitely would have appreciated the time to address those concerns with the game plan that we had.
Well, I've never met you before, so I have no idea before this meeting what color you are.
Right.
But I've heard good things about the work that you've been doing.
Okay.
The way I thought about this is, my brother has a storm shelter business.
Okay.
If I'm going to get a storm shelter put in and somebody else offers to do it for $2,000 less than my brother, I'm going to go with my brother because I know how long he's been in the business. I
Right.
know what he's done. I've seen his work. I maybe haven't seen everything that I need to see with this other person. So sometimes, especially with the type of risk that we have involved with this, sometimes you have to make these decisions.
Right.
And I mean, I think these decisions are made in our county and in our city on a regular basis.
Right.
So it really, truly is nothing about you or your character or your skin color. And again, I can't tell you how many good things I've heard about the work that you've done in the past, but this is just one of those projects that has a big risk involved, and we've got to go with somebody that we know can do it the best without that risk.
I appreciate that. It puts me in a pretty tough position, though, when you don't have that 40, 50-year foundation as some of the locals. When you're a newcomer, it kind of puts you in that catch-22 category. But I definitely appreciate what you...
I drive on the quality of your work every day. As a matter of fact, you're doing one of the biggest jobs in my ward.
Okay.
10th,
Okay.
okay? You do a bang-up job. Very, very top-notch work.
Thank you.
Mr.
So that
Jackson,
ain't swaying my opinion.
I'm sorry.
I said that wasn't swaying my opinion, it's just the fact that I want you to know.
Yeah.
It's noticeable.
Awesome, thank you.
It's very noticeable.
Awesome.
And the way you're making 10th look, it's spreading out to the neighborhoods.
Right.
So I appreciate
I
that.
think I tried to save you guys some nickels there, just maybe can do some more projects there in your ward.
I know of your work. I don't know you personally,
Okay.
but certainly I know people that know you, and I know that the city staff talks highly about the work that you have done
Okay.
in the city of Enid. But you hit on something a while ago about the subcontractors. We've been on a lot of big projects with contractors and subcontractors, and why wouldn't you show us your team? That would have made a difference. If you had a team put together that had people with that experience that you said you do, that's what we need to see.
Well, the catch with that is they were also bidding on the project as a prime. So until that was decided of who the contractor was going to be, I couldn't really, that had to be done on the back end.
Well, you put us at a disadvantage when you do it like that. Maybe you need to find somebody from out of town that's not bidding on the
Right.
project. But that would have been, if you put a team together, and we've been on lots of big teams like that.
Right.
And that's the way they get the job for these huge engineering projects is putting together a team where everybody's got a part and everybody's got experience and everybody's got resumes for that, and bring that to us and say, this is who's going to do the boring. Somebody's going to do the boring from you, and maybe you're going to stick all the pipe together, and you got a QA out there. Who's the QA going to be? And that sort of information would have made a difference, and it would make a difference to me tonight when I vote.
That was demonstrated to the engineering team of who we're going to have to do the bores and do the tie-in.
I haven't seen any of that.
And I think that was the missed opportunity.
Other comments? Well, thank you for coming today. I do appreciate that. And like I said, I would just encourage you to keep, my dad used to always say, just keep shooting and just keep shooting, okay?
Continue shining on 10th until it's all done.
Awesome. Thanks, Commissioners and Mayor.
So that being said, we still need to vote. I'll be looking for a motion on 7.4 to award the contract. I'll just read it all again. 7.4, award a contract to Luckenbill Construction, LLC, Edmond, Oklahoma, for project number W2114C1, Ames Raw Water Transmission Main Rehabilitation Creek Crossing, Turkey and Spring, base bid, and option B in the amount of $2,487,577. Approve the extension of the time for contract award and authorize the mayor to execute all contract documents. I'll look for a motion to pass.
Move approval.
A motion
Second.
and a second. Please cast your ballots.
Mayor, I abstain from voting.
Okay, you want to abstain or walk out? It's up to you. Okay. I have 6-0. All right, on 7-4. Okay. I'm going to move to item number 8. Recess to convene as the Enid Municipal Authority. All trustees are here of that authority. Item 10.1, consider a resolution increasing the 2024-2025 physical financial plan for the Enid Municipal Authority in the amount of $439,878.33 for prior year encumbrances outstanding as of June 30th, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Please cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. Item 10.2, consider a resolution increasing the 2024-2025 physical financial plan for the Enid Municipal Authority in the amount of $2,500,000.
Move to approve.
Second it.
Motion and a second. Cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. Item 10.3, approval of claims in the amount of $207,050.99.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. Item number 11, adjourn to convene as the Enid Economic Development Authority. All trustees are present of that authority. Item 13.1, approval of claims in the amount of $200,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. Item 14, adjourn to convene as the Enid Public Transportation Authority. All trustees are present. Item 16.1, approval of claims in the amount of $19,324.16.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. Item number 17, adjourn to convene as the Enid City Commission. Item number 18 is public comment. Mr. Jackson, you were the only one I had on the list. So that being said, I will move to item number 17, executive session.
19.
I'll look for a motion to adjourn into executive session.
19.
I'm sorry, what?
Read the executive session.
Oh. Turn the page. Is that what you're telling me? Item 19.1, consider convening into executive session to perform an evaluation and discuss the continued employment of the city attorney Carol Lehman pursuant to 25 OS State Statute 307B1, employment of an individual salaried person, and reconvene in regular session to take any necessary action.
Move to executive session.
Second.
Motion second. Cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. We are in executive session.